Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot and Astrology. This is Poetry Night. The last time I read a poem, it was called Stuck, and this is called Stuck Again. This is September 12th, I think. Not that it matters. And I was too lazy to go upstairs and print this out, so I have to hold my phone up. Stuck again. You'd be proud of me. I got out of bed today. I went to the post office and then stopped at the pharmacy to get my pills. I even had a dentist appointment after that. I felt so cocky afterwards, I took the car to a car wash. I know, all in one day. It wasn't too bad. I was in a weird parking space at the post office, though, and I almost couldn't back out. Then, when I was stopped at a red light at the main street, a huge double-trailer semi turned in front of me, and I ducked because the truck was inches from my car window. Also, I wasn't going to tell you, but I had a panic attack going through the car wash. With the windows closed and the loud noises and the brushes all over the car, it all felt out of control. But I learned something. The car was supposed to move into the wash area, but it wouldn't go. The attendant yelled at me through the window. "Do you have the car in neutral?" "Yes," I said. Then I looked down and figured it out. You can't move forward with your foot on the brake. Okay, that's not really a poem exactly. It's just kind of a thing. But I also wanted to say, and if you were here for the poetry, this is just a little anecdote, something that happened to me today, and I think it's a good reminder. I was standing in line at the pharmacy, and there were two people ahead of me. And there was a woman, a young woman, and then a man behind her. I was actually taller than the man, and I was thrilled because I'm not taller than anybody. He was Asian, I think, but I was just thrilled. That's crazy. Anyway, so I wanted to get home fast because I wanted to go for a walk, and it was getting dark. So I was really impatient, which, to be honest with you, I'm always impatient. Not always, not when I'm working with students, but in my real life, I am very impatient. And the young woman, it wasn't her fault. It was the pharmacist. I don't know what they were doing, but I stood there for forever, like probably 5 to 7 minutes. That's a long time for me. That was two people ahead of me. So I was getting frustrated and I was annoyed. And the woman in line who was at the counter, she kept talking to the pharmacist, and I was thinking, if you'd be quiet, maybe things would go faster. And she was telling them all about her life, and I wasn't being very kind in my head. I was like, well, you don't need to tell your whole life story. But I did feel bad for her because one of her cats had passed away, and when she walked by me, I was going to stop her and say, "I'm really sorry about your cat," because I love animals, I love cats. But I didn't, because when she was done, finally, she went by me too quickly. But then she turned around and she came back and she stopped in front of me, and I had a mask on because the man in front of me was coughing, and we have COVID going around here now. But she stopped and she said to me, "I love your outfit." She said, "You look really pretty in that." And my first thought was, I have on an outfit? I don't even have any outfits. I had on, it was funny because when I put on the shirt, my round the house, my cool it was almost 100 degrees here today, so I had to put on a cool t-shirt. All my cool t-shirts, I constantly, if I go around food, I constantly have food on me. So they were all dirty. So this is my cooking shirt. So I went upstairs and I got this t-shirt. I know this is fascinating. And it's one that I bought because I like the color. It says, the band AC/DC. I don't even know. I couldn't name an AC/DC song. It's not a band I like. But I bought the shirt because it's black and it has turquoise writing on it. And it says something like, "For those about to rock," or something. And I just liked the color. So I had that on. And then I had on a pair of my late husband's boxer shorts, which that's not as bad as it sounds. They look like a skirt on me because they're too big, and they're like a dark navy blue, I know this is fascinating, with little sailboats and little boats on them in a turquoise color, so it matched the shirt. So I guess I did sort of, and I had on black shoes, and I know I'm fascinating. If you're still listening, though, here's the thing. I said to myself, stop being a bitch, because you were sitting here whining in your head that this woman was taking up too much time when it clearly wasn't her fault. It was the pharmacy. And B, it feels so good when somebody comes up to you and says something like that. I was so taken aback. She made my day. I mean, that was so kind of her. And then after she left, I just kept saying thank you. And after she left, I thought to myself, you were going to say you were sorry about the cat. Why didn't you? And then why didn't you? I'm making a lot of lists, and it must be the Sun and Mercury and Virgo. B, I said, why didn't you tell her? She had on a really pretty t-shirt, and she had on a nose ring, which I really don't like those particularly, but it was black, and it just, I don't know, she had neat hair. And after she left, I thought, why didn't I tell her she looked really pretty? Because she did. And it was just, so my point is, I do have a point, and then I want to say one funny thing the weatherman said. My point is, you know what? If something strikes you, say it, because you only get one chance. I'll probably never see her again. And that was very kind of her, and she turned my whole mood around. I was no longer impatient, and it was too dark when I got home to walk, but it turned out my knees were hurting anyway, and I was tired and I didn't want to, so it all worked out fine. So I just wanted to tell you that's really important. And this was just a funny thing. We have very funny weather people here, and they say strange things, and sometimes I write them down. And he said, this was like yesterday, it wasn't today, but we had some wind, and he said there were going to be wind gusts right in your face. I don't know, that just strikes me funny. They usually are. Anyway, I've got some cards pulled. I hope I have the energy. I'm exhausted tonight. I don't know why, but if I get a little burst in an hour or two, I will do the cards. But if not, I will do them tomorrow because they look very interesting, and we got some good stuff going on. So I just wanted to tell you, make someone's day. Say something nice to them. It's very sweet of her. Anyway, blessings, everyone. Good night.